Hello everyone, welcome to Redmen TV. It's time for some daily news. It's January, so we know we've got general transfer box to discuss. Welcome if you just joined us. Make sure you drop a like on this video straight off the bat. Look, it might be terrible, but just because I've asked nicely, please. Anyway, as you know, we've got the Reds transfer roundup show that goes out every single week on redmentv.com, which we get about an hour to sit down and really discuss these things in depth and detail. These are more briefings, a top line on what's happening, a few quick thoughts. Got a few stories to get through today. We know, hello everyone. We know that the Reds are playing Wolves in the FA Cup third round tonight. The team are just setting off behind me. Not the Liverpool team, the Redmen team, the important team. That's why I'm sat here on my top. Hoever is being linked with a loan move to Reading. Now, I'm not sure how credible this is. It's being cited in loads and loads of different places. However, a few of them where they're citing that from is somewhere that I'm not going to give a promotion to. But it does seem likely that Hoever is going to go out in this January transfer window. It's really interesting to see how News Now's various coverage of it has got this framed in so many ways to make it sound more interesting than it actually is. 6'4" giant considers move away from Liverpool. It's Hoever. He's being linked with a move to Reading. Who knows? A little bit of stuff on the match a bit later on in the show. We've got a few things to bash through. One, which is kind of off the back of last week. We know Nathaniel Clyne went to Bournemouth on loan. Neil Warnock was raging. He was raging. I've got some quotes here. I actually, part of me feels a bit sorry for him in some regards, but also it's Warnock, so, you know, I don't. He did call Liverpool a disgrace. The quotes say, to see it on television when I've done everything right and they've promised that he's my player for a week. For me, it's a disgrace and just a lack of class. What I was disappointed in is having known Nathaniel, he knew him from his days at Crystal Palace, to not get a phone call from Nathaniel or from Liverpool. I thought that stank. I thought it was a disappointment, a lack of class. Call it what you want. Call it what you want, Neil. When you're waiting and doing it properly, I think you deserve respect, and I don't think they showed us any. What's really interesting, I didn't really look further into this. Some of the later quotes is mad. I probably should have been illegally tapping him up or something like that, shouldn't I? No, and don't put that in people's heads. But I did everything right and Bournemouth came in. I suppose Bournemouth paying 19 million for Solanke, it might have whetted their appetite a bit. I've lost out on 3 players because of that by waiting. I've lost out on a couple of fullbacks in a striker because I couldn't use the loan up. I'm doubly disappointed, really. Listen, we don't get any favours, but we're not going to get any favours. We're not going to get any favours. Whether it's on the pitch or off it, we are always up against it. Wow. Apparently Liverpool were contacted but made no comments on it from the Guardian. Probably just thinking, and that's just my general top line thought of that, to be perfectly honest. Couple of transfer links then. The first one is Abdulkadir, the incredible Dulk. Omur, so well, being linked. Now, there's some quotes from him. They're coming from CNN Turkey. Now, you know, as a man, you know, now world famous for having been on CNN the once last week and said that Liverpool weren't that arsed if we lost to Man City. Yeah, that was right. Apparently he's told CNN Turkey, I get this via the Mirror, Liverpool is a very important club, but the most important thing is Trabzonspor's interests. If my club tell me that I can go, I'll go. And if they tell me to stay, I'll stay. We will see. My priority is Trabzonspor, but I have a dream of playing in Europe. I hope I play there one day. My dream is to succeed here and then go to Europe. And it's being reported on the lines of odds slash. The odds have been slashed. Little insider on this. Don't trust it when things say odds slash, because there's a little network of bookmakers who, I don't want to say they influence the markets per se, but there is a little backhanded thing going on with bookmakers and odds aggregators to pay for content. Or to ask for quotes to pad out stories of content that makes it seem more believable. So yes, there might have been some increased betting, and then what you do is you get an article that says there's been a change in the betting, and then people get onto it more, and then the odds, you know, then there's a massive change in the odds, etc., which then makes it news. So watch out for these stories when it's reported about the odds. I always find them a little bit suspect, if I'm perfectly honest. But the talk is of £27.9 million. He's played predominantly right mid for Trabzonspor this season. Still a very young lad, only 19. I'm not sure. I mean, unless we're looking to convert him more to the left side of the forward position. So I think where Liverpool need the most strength. I don't think we need another guy for the right. But there you go. That's that so far. And the last one coming today is from Eder Militao, the Portuguese centre half for Porto, who did he play against us? Genuinely got no idea. Could have researched that, but chose not to. He's another young lad, very, very hot prospect. There's talk of him on a 42.5 million release clause, and a lot of the top clubs have been linked with him as well. We've seen, well, I say top clubs, Man United, historically top club, and a few others. I couldn't help it. Genuinely couldn't help it. A few others being linked with him. I can't see Liverpool making a move for centre half, and not one who's got that kind of potential. If we're going to buy him, I think that's a summer move when maybe you're moving Matip out, and you have a reshuffle and a reevaluation of where you're at. Maybe Lovren gets pushed down to fourth choice, or maybe Lovren goes out and you make Matip absolutely nailed on fourth choice, and then you've got Gomez, Militao, Van Dijk, and then of course you've still got the Jana, Hoever as well. We don't know what's kind of going to happen with him just yet, but yeah, it is. I can't see Liverpool going big. I can't see Liverpool spending £40 million on a centre half in January. Look, I know it's not because I don't think we'll spend big money on a centre half, but we just don't need one. If we're going to spend that money, it's not where Liverpool needs strength, in particularly in this. I've seen questions like Teddy Picker saying, I'd take Coutinho back straight swap from Moreno. Yeah, very interesting. Let's not thought the Coutinho stuff's interesting in so much as there's a load of people who clearly really want him back, and look, he's made his bed. And look, I don't like cutting my nose off to spite my face if it could make Liverpool a better team. I think it's tough having gone through January last year when you galvanised the squad around. Fuck Coutinho. He's made his bed. He's gone off. He's made this decision. He's chosen to leave us. We're left. We're good enough. We're going to become a better team. It's very hard for him to then come back in and go, lads, hang on a second. You said we were fine without him, so why are you going and spending big money to bring him back in? We would be well better for having him, but at the same time, I don't think I'd rather go out and get the next ... He's going to cost too much money. His wages are going to be too much. He's got Paris Saint-Germain or whatever linked all over him, or probably inevitably Chelsea, because that's what happens, or something like that. I can't. I like Coutinho. He's a decent lad as well in person, but no, you don't like. Little bit of team news down ahead of tonight. We've mentioned a key Jana Hoever. Yeah, he's been given a squad number, apparently number 51, according to Chris Bascom. So he's likely to be involved in the matchday squad tonight. There's also talk that Rafa Camacho will start, which I think is very, very exciting. You'll have seen him the same way I did in pre-season. Very, very bright young lad. Now we know he's a right winger. We start to convert him to right back. I think that's more and more you see that. You see like Aaron Wan-Bissaka as an example of that. That's a lad who clearly 5 years ago would have been a right winger, and now he's a very, very good fullback. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, etc. I'm excited to see him because he's being linked with a loan to buy move out to Sporting Lisbon, which is a bit baffling to me, to be honest. Doesn't make sense the way that Solanke made sense. So yeah, that's it. I'm really fascinated to see him. I think Liverpool will go a nice mixture of quality and young talent on display tonight, and that normally doesn't bode very well for Liverpool in the Cup. That's normally when we fuck things up massively. I will be covering the game from the studio right here while the lads and lasses go over to Birmingham. They're leaving. I think they've just left. So all the best luck to Team Redmen. Wish them luck in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you think the Mighty Reds can turn over Wolves. But yeah, just to wrap up, as I say, Ajaria to Reading, possibly. Camacho and Jana Hoever to start. Probably one of them. Neil Warnock's raging, fine. Abdulkadir Omur is a possibility, but probably more of a possibility, certainly than the Eder Militao links, which I think Liverpool might revisit in the summer. But we saw links to Alisson this time last year, and then that started to materialise as the season went on. So yeah, and Lauren Doherty just saying, yeah, the Ajaria thing is happening. So there you go. Looks like Ajaria to Reading is very, very likely to happen, unless their manager sits and waits, and we end up sending them on loan to another better team, and then their manager gets really upset. Couldn't care less. Anyway, check back on the redmentv.com later on this week. Wednesday, Thursday, we're recording the Reds transfer roundup, in-depth and detailed look at all the Liverpool transfers, really get into the nitty-gritty of all it. The go, start your 3-month trial, all that stuff. And yeah, check back post-match for the usual raft of post-match content after Liverpool Wolves FA Cup third round. See you all, guys. Have a very nice evening. Ta-ra.